Hi everyone, and welcome to today's Chinese language lift presentation on word order matters. My name is Zoe Lee and I am one of the Schools College Liaison Assistants here at the University of Chester. And today I am joined by Jenny Twee, who will be running today's language lift presentation. Would you like to just say hello, Jenny?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Perfect, thank you very much. And you'll shortly see Mags as well, who will be here moderating any questions that come through during the presentation. I will be handing over for the presentation in a moment, but just before we start, I wanted to just give you a bit of an idea of how today's session is going to be running, because there are going to be some questions throughout today's presentation that we'd like you to maybe engage with, try and answer if you can. There is a little bit of a delay when your answers come through, so we might just wait a few seconds and just make sure that no one's been answering before we try and move on. And then also, if you have got any questions at all about the session or about the University of Chester, about Chinese at Chester, anything like that, feel free to use the chat box at the right-hand side of the screen that you can see. You can make yourself anonymous when you are putting these questions in as well. So you just need to tick that you wish to be anonymous, and you also need to make sure that you know your video and your audio won't be shared. So don't worry about that. The only thing that we'll see is anything that you put through on the chat for us today. The questions that do come through will be collated at the end, and Mags will ask these questions to Jenny towards the end of the presentation. So if you put the questions throughout, we will just wait till the end to answer them all, just so we can get through the presentation without loads of interruptions, basically. But apart from that, I think that's everything from me. So enjoy the session. And if you have got any more questions, just pop them in the chat and I can reply to you privately if you need to. So is that all okay for everyone? We're ready to start. Over to you, Jenny.
Okay, thank you very much, Zoe. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me. I'm Jenny Twee from the Department of Modern Languages. And when we learn a new language, you hope to speak this language naturally, and but from time to time, when you study Chinese, you may wonder, like, did I make a mistake? How could I correct myself? And also, I think you might be interested in to have a better understanding about this language. I hope today's topic will help you a little bit. My topic is word order matters. I will introduce a golden rule for you to learn Chinese language and culture effectively. Now let's start. Let's take a look about the contents first. I have 3 questions. The first question I'm talking about, what are the differences in word order in Chinese and English? Secondly, I will address why are there differences. Then question 3, how do these differences help us to learn Chinese language and culture? Before we start our first question, I would like to introduce these 2 schoolgirls. Okay, let's suppose we have Lily. Lily is a Chinese British girl. Her Chinese name is Wang Lili, and Emily is her classmates. They met during the break time, and Emily asked Lily, what did you do yesterday? So Wang Lili told her that yesterday it was her mother's birthday. She went to the supermarket and bought a cake for her mom. And then they celebrated her mother's birthday in the evening. And she also asked, how about you, Emily? Emily told her that she was tired from reading books, so she watched a movie at home. Okay, then how do we conduct this conversation in Chinese? What would be the difference in terms of word order? Okay, for a simple question, for a simple sentence, the word order is the same. In English, Wang Lili said, I bought a cake. Okay, in Chinese, we have the same word order. 我买了一个蛋糕。我 is subject, I 买了 bought. 一个蛋糕 a cake. The same word order in English. It's no problem. But remember, Wang Lili also gave us more information. Talk about when did she buy this cake, right? Wang Lili said, I bought a cake in the afternoon. When we introduce the time information, when did it happen, then she needs to speak. She needed to speak in this way in Chinese. 我下午 that means the time words in the afternoon. 买了一个蛋糕. We can see in here the time words 下午 put before the action. About a cake. And Wang Lili also mentioned more information. She also said about from the supermarket. So she said, I bought a cake from the supermarket in the afternoon. If she put this sentence in Chinese, she should say, 我下午 in the afternoon 去超市 went to the supermarket 买了一个蛋糕. So here we can see the time words and also when and where 去超市 the location words all put in front of the verb and the object, the action. Okay. Remember, in the conversation, Wang Lili also mentioned this cake was for mother's birthday. So Wang Lili said, I bought a cake for mom from the supermarket in the afternoon. In Chinese, she should put it in this way. 我下午, that's time words in the afternoon. 去超市. 去超市, that's the location, okay? Went to the supermarket. 给妈妈 for mom. We can say that, okay, 买了一个蛋糕 to bought a cake. The word order we can say for whom, okay, is the time words, the location, and for whom all put in front of the action. This is quite different from the English word order. In English, we said this action first, then after all the other informations afterwards, right? Let's say more examples. Here are more examples. And Wang Lili said, okay, she had this 1/6 of the cake. 1/6 of the cake. In English, we said 1/6. That means we take a slice from the whole cake. Okay. In Chinese, she needed to mention the whole cake first. The whole cake was divided into 6 pieces, so she needed to mention this 6. 6, that is the whole cake. 6分之一. So she take the from the whole. She take the a piece, a slice. Okay. So the English speaker, the focus is on the part, and the Chinese speaker, the focus is on the whole first. Then followed by the part. Let's move on to next difference. Wang Lili mentioned Wang Lili said, I went to the supermarket from school. Okay, in this English sentence, we see the destination on this trip. The destination is the supermarket. School is the arranging. In the Chinese sentence, she needed to say, 我从学校 that means from school 去超市 went to the supermarket. We say just the other way around. So the Chinese speaker put the origin first before the destination. Okay, now let's move on to next difference. We also have Emily. Emily told Wang Lili that she was yesterday. She was tired from reading books. So tired is the result. Reading books is the reason. If we put this Chinese in a proper way, then we need to say 我 that's I 看书 that's the reason. That's the reason. That's the reason. 看书 is reading books. Reading books. 看累了 result. Tired. So we can say in Chinese put the reason in before the result, and in the English way is put the result in front of the reason. Okay, you may find more differences. Then you may wonder if we could we have like could we have a rule governing all the difference? Yes, we do have one. Let's take a look at this picture. We have picture A and picture B. Look at these two circles. Do you think these two circles are at the same color? And could anyone give me what do you think? Are the two circles the same color?
I've seen something like this before, and it always confuses me. We'll wait and see what everyone thinks before we share. Does anyone know if does anyone think they're the same color, or anyone think they're different? And then we'll just wait a second. Every time I look at it, I change my mind.
Just while waiting for a question on that, there is a different question that's come in. I wonder if we could ask you that, Jenny. So it says, in a question, what happens if we get the word order wrong? Will the question still make sense?
If we get the word order wrong, people might still understand. Maybe the Chinese people may still can understand what you want to mean, but it's not you not speak Chinese in a proper way. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Somebody has responded and they've said, I can see them different, but I guess it is wrong.
Well, yes. The answer is quite correct. Actually, these two circles are the same, exactly the same color, but it appears maybe this one is a little bit darker than the circle in the picture A, right? Okay, so they are the same thing. If we make a statement, but we the different language, in different language, they will view the things from different ways. So it might look a little bit different. So let we see if we just think this circle, we just as our previous example, 我买了一个蛋糕. So this is this circle. 我买了一个蛋糕. That's the same thing. But we also have some other more information, like we have talked about when in the afternoon. Where 去超市 went to the supermarket, and for whom, for mom. Maybe some other more information. For the Chinese speaker, Chinese, they will put they will put the contact information, background information before this action. So you will see this like all the background information is more striking. They put in front of the main action, like in the afternoon. Went to the supermarket, and for mom, all this kind of information they put in front of the bought a cake. So it's the Chinese language is a context oriented language. For the English speaker, is a free will oriented information language. It's the emphasis is put on what I would like to do. I want to buy a cake. So that's the information, just like this circle they will, and for the rest of the information, they will just put after this main action. So that's the main difference. And this is, if we understand this with this knowledge, then it's easy for we to speak Chinese in Chinese sentences correctly and help us to correct ourselves when we say a Chinese sentence. And also, this can help us to learn Chinese language and culture. So we understand when we say a Chinese sentence, like Emily said, Emily told Wang Lili, I watched a movie at home in the evening. That's the English speaker will put in this way. But for the Chinese, as we mentioned, is a context-oriented language. So the structure should be like this: subject, then followed by time when the action takes place, followed by the place where the action takes place, then the action. So there's a verb plus the object. For example, so this sentence, if Emily want to speak this in Chinese, she needs to say like this: 我晚上, I 晚上 in the evening, that's time. 在家 place, 看电影 that's the action. That's the correct Chinese sentence. Okay, let's see one more example. And okay, for Emily also said, for Emily, her dad drives to work every day. But we know Chinese is a context-oriented language. So we will put this kind of information, like how the action takes place. So we will put the information in front of this action. The structure should be subject plus time plus how plus action. We see this sentence in Chinese, it's 爸爸 dad, 每天 every day, time. 开车 how does dad drive, how does dad go to work? 开车上班 go to work. Okay, now let's give you some more examples how this knowledge can help us to have a better understanding of the Chinese culture. When expressing the discounts, let's say Wang Lili bought this cake. This cake is the price is 10 pounds, but she found that there is 30% off, so she can get 7 pounds. So 30% off, that is 3 pounds off. Okay, from the original price. But for a Chinese speaker, they want to say speak in this way. They will say like 70% of the original price. They will say, okay, you can get 7 pounds for the discount. If you ask, can I get a discount? Could I have a discount? Get a discount? Then in Chinese, we will tell you that, okay, you can get the 70% of the whole price of the original price. let me one more example. Talk about the name order in Chinese. This is an actress in the movie Mulan. I guess someone might watch this movie. So the actress name is Gong Li. Gong Li. If we use our previous knowledge, we might thought Gong is the given name, Li is surname. But in Chinese, the other way around, because we will put the family in front of the individual. Okay, so Gong actually is a family name. Li is her given name. The same as the example we have. We said this girl, her name is Lily Wang, but in Chinese, we will call her as Wang Li Li. We will call her first name, her family name first, then followed by her given name. Okay, so so I have a picture here. So my question is, so we have so what do you see in the middle? So we have this picture. What do you see in the middle? Can anyone tell me?
I feel like I can see a few things.
Yeah, what do you see? It's
I don't want to say too much just in case anyone wants to answer, but I'll give them 10 seconds and then I'm going to say.
Let's see the difference between us two, Zoe.
What can you see, Mags?
I can see the letter B.
You can see the letter B.
Can you?
I feel like I can see where you're coming from with the letter B, but I can also see the number 13.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So when we speak one language, yes. Okay. I would say, yeah, this is the letter B, and also vertically is also the number 13. I just take this as an example. I like if we when we speak one language, we will speak from one perspective. There's one way of viewing the world. If we speak two languages, then we can view the world from we have the two ways. Okay, to see the world, we have different perspectives. That might help us to solve problems as well. Okay, so we have this this guy here. This guy holding a pole upright, and this guy tried to get through this. This is a city wall, so that's the gate for the city walls. He tried to get through, but with the pole upright, he couldn't get through. So anyone can find a way to help him out.
They could work together.
Oh, just this guy just want to carry on this pole, want to get through this gate.
Oh, just on his own.
Yeah.
And does the pole have to stay full, intact?
No.
So that means he could possibly use the is it an axe in his hand, something?
Yes.
Chop it in half, maybe.
Okay, yeah, that's yes, that's one way to solve the problem. Yes, but the thing is that when we cut it into two pieces, we will never fix it back, right? Okay, so yeah, yes, she couldn't get through with this pole upright. She couldn't get through with this pole like crossed. But if she can hold this sideway, then she can get through, right? If we view we can view the world differently from different ways. We can find a way out, maybe some, and also just like for the language learning, it's a long journey. There's no shortcut like this. Yes, this is a shortcut, but but sometimes we needed to do the hard work to. Then we found something very interesting thing there. Okay, so So that's what I would like to share. So that's the old man suggests to use this X, but maybe we have a better way to solve the problem. And when we learn a new language, there we will have different way, a new way to view the world. Maybe it might help to solve the problem as well. Okay, let me summarize my topic today. We are talking about I addressed the 3 questions about what are the difference in terms of the word order in Chinese and in English. We talked the difference like the Chinese way when talk about like the cake, we'll put the whole in front before the part. When we address a Chinese name, we will say the family name in front before the given name. The Chinese way would like to put the origin in front of the destination, like our example from school to the supermarket. And when talk about thing, the Chinese speaker will focus on the reason first, then talk about the result. So there are more differences, but we need to know why, because we want to find a rule to governing all the differences. So we talked that Chinese is a context-oriented language. If you understand this with this knowledge, so it will help you to speak Chinese in a proper way. Then we know the structures of the language. We need to put all the context information like when, where, and how, and who for whom, all this background information in front of the main action. And this is different from the English. English is free will oriented. We'll talk about the main action before the other background information. Okay, so that's all for my presentation. And if we can view the world differently, that might be fun. That would be fun, right? So finally, I would like to teach you one more Chinese word here. 加油 is come on. Enjoy your Chinese language learning. Okay, thank you, and I welcome questions.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Jenny. That was so interesting. And I just wanted to say, before we do get to the actual questions that Mags will go through with you, so many people are just saying how it was just very interesting to think about the family orientations within the language, and also how you're talking about the subject, time, place and action makes it so much easier to understand and to also remember, the way of remembering how to speak a language. And someone also said that they never thought about different perspectives within a language. So as you were just saying then before you finished, there's a lot of differences, I suppose, but the way you've put it has just made it so much more easy to understand. I've never tried to learn Chinese before, and I already feel like I know a little bit of how I would understand it. So just wanted to say thank you and just let you know that everyone found it really helpful and interesting. And yeah, we'll just go over to Mags to ask the questions that have come through, if that's okay.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that, Jenny. That was really interesting and very informative. And on a personal level, I've learned quite a lot already, really, myself. And I would definitely confirm your title of word order definitely matters. So thank you for that. One of the it's not necessarily a question, but someone has commented and said the word for mum seems very similar in Chinese to other languages. Would you kind of agree with that?
Yeah, Yeah, definitely we have many things in common as well. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's quite interesting, really, because I think people sometimes think that, Chinese language is very specific and doesn't cross over. Are there any other words that you kind of think are very similar yourself?
Well, it's well, I think this is a really good question, but it's very challenging for me to answer this question in a very give a very short question, but make it yeah.
Could I ask you then, Jenny? The word taxi, that's kind of a universal word. So what would be the word for taxi in Chinese?
Okay, so in taxi in Chinese, we call as the 出租车. The thing is that for Chinese, we will think something just like what I'm talking. We always the Chinese speaker will think things as a group. They something in common. They said they shared something in common. Let me give you go back to your previous question. Let me see. When we 出租车 is a type of car, and when Chinese people when they talk about the days of the week for the English, that's all individuals. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's all different. But in Chinese, they will think this. Let me say this in Chinese, and you can understand. 星期一、星期二、星期三. You can see they all shared the same, like 星期, that means week. The first day of the week, the second day of the week, the third day of the week. This.
Wow.
Okay. So it's we have something in common, and then we talk about more specifically. Okay, that's the first day, the second day. Yeah.
Thank you for that. And there are no more questions, but the comments are that someone said thank you in there. They have found it really interesting, never thought about different languages and different perspectives. And definitely, I think the subject, time, place and action has definitely made it easy for people to understand. So thank you very much for that, Jenny. A really useful session.
Yeah, I really appreciate for the feedback, and I think with more practice, when learning a new language, it's quite common. We make mistakes, and it's quite common. But if we have this kind of knowledge, and we understand that the language is like a context-oriented language for the Chinese language. So it's you can always help yourself to correct your sentence, and you will realize, okay, what's the mistake and how can I correct myself?
Perfect, thank you. We do have a few questions just about the actual course at Chester. So basically, someone's just asking, is there anything you think they should prepare before starting a course at the University of Chester in Chinese? Is there anything they can start doing now to prepare for university that might be helpful to them?
Well, we really appreciate for this question. Yeah, normally we don't have a requirement so they don't need to pre-west the knowledge before they start to the Chinese program in the University of Chester. But sometimes we do see if they are interested, they can check out some websites. And also some apps. For example, the Chinese skill. They can find these apps. Yeah, it might be helpful.
Yeah, so maybe some extracurricular in their own time, I suppose, some extra learning and reading. That's always helpful, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And what does someone else has also asked, what does the first year of the course look like? How do you kind of settle into the Chinese course at Chester?
So for the next year, the timetable has not been finalized. But in terms of the weekly hours, we have 6 hours for language course and 2 hours for culture course. And in addition to the classroom teaching, we also provide more support for our Chinese students. We provide online Chinese learning resource. It is Chinese immersion with graded news. We also students get an account and they can access to that resources. And also we provide this. We also have that language buddy program. So provide a one-to-one language exchange with students from mainland Chinese Chinese university. Yes.
Wow, perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much again, Jenny, for that session. It was really, really helpful. And thank you, everyone, for your questions. And thank you, Jenny, for answering them for us today. I have just put some links in the chat for everyone to have a look at if you'd like to. That is just to have a look at any other language lift events that we have got going on. That's the first link that I've put in there. And then I've also just put a link to our outreach events page to any other subject specific events that we might have going on. But again, I just want to thank you all. And if there's anything that we can help you with at all, please feel free to get in touch and we'll always be here to help. And there's a lot of information on our website for any extra things that you might want to get involved in, some activities online as well. So yeah, thank you very much. And I hope that you have enjoyed today's session and we'll see you again at another one of our events. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.